All right. I believe we are live here. I believe we are live. Ontarian here, passive income guru. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening. Um, Give me just a sec here. I'm going to make sure that I'm good on YouTube. And we'll get this show on the road, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. What I want to start doing is every Sunday, I want to start doing these videos here, um, kind of turn it into a Q&A style, but I will also want to go into the details of my Forex trading software. Okay, so climb on in, guys. Climb on in. King Opportunity, what's going on, sir? Hey, happy Sunday to you. Thanks for checking in. Thank you for checking in. I'm just doing a little bit of housekeeping here, making sure that I'm streaming live here on my channels. I believe I am. I believe I am. Okay. Welcome in, guys. Welcome on in. Yep. Thank you, King. I know I'm good on YouTube because you're commenting off of YouTube. So awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this live feed. I'm Tyrion here. I'm the passive income guru coming to you from Oklahoma. All right. Wherever you are, hey, glad to have you. Glad to have you. All right. If you're new here, if you are new, make sure to subscribe. All right. This particular YouTube channel has been going strong since 2014. All right. Man, over 10 years strong. And the goal of this channel is to give you information. All right. Vital information that's going to help you make a decision in the passive income game. All right. Now, over the years, folks, I've been able to put my hands and get my hands in several different opportunities online. Even though this YouTube channel is 10 years old, I've actually been in the online space for over 2 decades. So I have a lot of experience. You can say that I have a doctorate. If you can almost say I have a doctorate or more in this field of marketing, of investing, of uh, just doing business online. Okay, I have a lot of experience doing it. I've made a ton of money doing it, and each and every year there comes a time where you have to shift your portfolio, shift your business. You know, things are changing rapidly, right? We have just to give you what I'm talking about, AI or artificial intelligence, robots, same thing, technology, same thing, inflation. Okay, so we have some things that is working against us in this world, especially in the USA, ladies and gentlemen. We have some things that's starting to work against the common folk. All right, and those common things, those things that are starting to work against the common folks, are hurting their pockets or hurting your pockets financially, right? If you can resonate with what I'm saying so far, drop a number 7 in the comments. I'm going to get a little deeper, and hopefully by the end of this video, you guys, you know, your mindset will change, and you will make it a duty, all right, to make haste, so to speak, to make some changes rapidly. Okay. Um, I did a video about 5 or so years ago where the title of it was robots. And basically, ladies and gentlemen, I just basically said, hey, robots are going to be the future. Robots are going to take hundreds and thousands of people's jobs, and people are going to be hurting financially, right? Because everything is going to AI, guys. Hey, you got cars now driving itself. Okay. Um, you got you can pick up your cell phone right now, your smartphone, push a couple of buttons, and you can have a delivery to your home, whether it be food, whether it be any device, electronics, whatever you want. You can get it delivered to your door. That's called convenience. And the second thing is called is saving money. When companies are able to do this, they're saving a lot of money. Why? Because they're cutting out the middleman. That middleman was an employee probably for 20, 30 years. And you know what? One day the boss came in and said, you know what? We don't need you anymore. Okay? We don't need you anymore because um, this robot is going to take your job. All right? This robot is going to take your job. And that's unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen. So I say that to say this. 2025, moving forward, AI and technology, and you can, whatever you want to call it, chat GBT, whatever you want to call it, is going to increase. That means the average worker's financial situation is going to get tough if, keyword if, you don't make a change rapidly, right? You don't find a way to invest. You don't find a way to bring in some type of income, tapping into some type of AI, because that's what everyone is doing right now who are entrepreneurs. Okay, like myself. Now, that's the bridge. That's the bridge. I always like to give the bad news first because that's going to open up your mind. It's going to open up your subconscious to really start to look at your evaluate your life, evaluate your financial situation, and make some smart moves. Okay, make some very, very smart moves. Right. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys been following me for a while, you know that I'm all about helping people create a passive income. Not only not just any type of passive income, guys, because there's a lot of scams out there. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. All right. There's a lot of scams, and you can lose a lot of money. All right. So be careful who you listen to. Be careful who you follow. Me personally, I've through the years, I've always done my due diligence to give you guys the best information that's going to help you in the long run, the short and long run. All right. So that's that. All right. So let's get into it, guys. I have a legitimate, as you guys know, a legitimate investing opportunity that is going to help grow your money. Okay, if you've been searching the internet, if you've been searching, wondering, okay, is there something online that I can put my money in that I can actually earn from, and it's not going to take my money, right? Because truth be told, guys, I've been there, done that. I put my money over the years in several different opportunities, i.e., let me give you an example, in crypto programs. There's a lot of them out there, guys. Please do your due diligence. Those crypto programs out there, even though they may look good on the outside, please stay far away from those crypto programs. I'm telling you from experience, you will lose your well, let me just say this. You will lose big time in the end. Okay. Just do your research. There's people that's lost thousands of dollars in crypto programs. I was talking to a gentleman last night, and he said he cashed out his crypto because he has some crypto holdings. And I said, "Well, man," I said, "Tell you what, if you have those if you cashed out, now you need something that's going to help continue to grow your money, right?" I said, "Very simple. Invest in my bot. You won't be sorry. You're going to be very pleased. It's going to continue to grow your money. Actually, the amount that you told me that you have, you can actually live off of that thing." Okay, I don't know if he was pulling my leg or what, but he said he had a well over six figures that he cashed out of crypto. I don't know how true that is, but what I told him, I said, well, since you cashed out, you need now that money's just going to be sitting, right? Put it to work. Put it in my bot. The bot is going to help you continue to grow, and as a matter of fact, you may be able to live off of that, the dividends that the bot is going to give you if you have that type of capital that you cashed out. So that's what I told him. But here's the flip side. He tried to sell me on something else. He said, hey, man, I checked out your video about the bot. I love it. I think I'm going to invest soon. But he said, hey, in the meantime, check this out. And he sent me some type of crypto program. I didn't even click the link. I said, you got to be kidding me. I said, if you put your money in this crypto program, your money is as good as gone. I'm telling you right now. Okay? I'm telling you right now. So learn from experience. Learn from experience. Hold on one second, guys. My wife calling me. Hey, babe. Hey, I'm on the live, honey.
Well, tell the live you have an emergency.
An emergency?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Kinda. I think I'm not gonna have enough money.
You're not gonna have enough money?
No. I got her some skirts to cover up her swimsuits. And a couple of tank tops because when I was counting her outfit.
All right, that'll work. Mm-hmm. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, man. My wife seems to call me every time I do a live. It's crazy. But anyway, we're good. We're good. Kind of lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, so basically, yeah. The guy. So basically, he's looking to put his money into a crypto program, and all I did was shook my head. I said, man, good luck with that. I mean, yeah, good luck with that. Okay, from experience, those crypto programs are trash. They're trash, guys. Okay, so without further ado, let's talk about um, my system. Let's talk about my system. Okay, so let me share my screen here. Share my screen. And you guys should be able to see my screen now. You guys should be able to see my screen. Feel free to drop your questions as I'm going through this, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to drop your questions. I'm going to be going over the characteristics and everything on this whiteboard here in just a bit. But I want to invite you guys to go check out my website, thepassiveincomeguruonline.com. You can literally toggle over to Auto Traders to learn more about this this software. Okay, so basically, this is a Forex trading system, a Forex trading EA or expert advisor. All right. Back in 2018, I was able to actually I was introduced to Forex trading in 2018, folks. All right. And at the same time, right at the same time, I would say within a year's time, I was also introduced to Forex expert advisors, okay, or EAs, which in a nutshell is just an AI system that trades for you, okay. So I was, learning the trading at the same time, and then I was testing different softwares, okay. Fast forward to about 2000 and I would say 2020. There was a specific. Now let me back up and say this, guys. I did quite a bit of testing with EAs. I didn't at first. I didn't know what I was getting into at the jump. I thought once I found something that was automated, that it was going to be very good. That was my thought process. Okay. So in 2020, I was introduced to an EA that actually was doing very well, very, very well. Okay. I thought this was the end all be all. I said, man, this is going to retire a lot of folks, including myself. You know, I was making money. I had took my account from 5,000 to 25K in a short amount of time with that particular EA. And I was just thinking on a daily basis, man, this is crazy. This is crazy, 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 right? Crazy work. I had several people that joined me. Their accounts were growing and everybody was happy, right? Everybody was happy, right? All of a sudden, guys, now listen closely, because if you've been looking for EAs and softwares online, this is going to be your last stop. I can dang near guarantee you that, okay? Dang, I can over 90% guarantee this is going to be your last stop. So one day, you know, the market did something crazy. Okay, it started going in one direction, and the software could not keep up. Now I'm not talking about my trading software. I'm talking about the one that I started, that I was really 1,000% invested in, both mentally, physically, you name it. And I had several customers who bought in with me, and I was actually doing some management for them. Everything was clicking, right? Again, this is back in 2020, well over 5 years ago. And all of a sudden, the market on one, I can remember the exact pair that was going crazy. And that thing, that particular pair just kept going up and up and up. And what happened was the software was opening new positions but higher lot sizes. Okay, you're probably familiar with that style if you've been in trading, or you know about EAs. Um, that is called a martingale strategy, guys. Okay, now come to find out, the software was already programmed to be a martingale strategy, which means the software would open up trades uh, consistently all day, every day. And when the market goes south or north, or whatever, right, the software would open up higher lot sizes to mitigate um, the losses, okay, so that you can make a profit, right? Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. You can simply Google martingale to learn what that strategy is, okay? So, long story short, um, the bot blew up. The bot blew my it blew my account, right? I can't even remember if I even took out any money. I don't think I did, because I was trying to grow it. So it blew mine, and it was a domino effect. It blew several other customers' accounts kind of like overnight. I think we had a good run for about 6 to 8 months, if that, if that. And you talking about devastated. I've never seen or experienced anything like that. It was my first time touching a bot. Um, and I was devastated. Never lost that amount of money before. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not doing this ever again. So a couple of years passed. Um, Actually, a few years passed, and I was introduced to another EA, and I was very reluctant because of the past of what I experienced the first time. And this time I said, you know what? because I didn't do this the first time. I said, you know what? I want to test it this time. I want to make sure that this thing is going to do what it says, right? So I'm going to test it. I want to test it, and I did. I tested it for a little bit, and I said, you know what? Okay, I mean, it's been a while since I did anything with EAs. Let's run with it, right? Um, kind of the same scenario. Kind of the same scenario. I didn't start with a lot this time. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. Okay, I didn't start with a lot. Uh, and I did some case studies on different pairs because the gentleman that introduced me to it said it trades every dang near every pair. So I tried it with gold. I tried it with US 30, and I said, okay, it was doing what it was supposed to do. Okay, after a certain amount of time after my testing. So I said, you know what? Let's give it another go. Let's give it another go. Let's get this out to the masses, and then I'm gonna continue um, to run my account, right? So kind of a similar situation happened. Unfortunately, um, my account was growing. I had some people that I got in, not as much as the first time, but I did get quite a bit of people in, and just like the previous time, it blew up. I think same amount. I think this one almost lasted around the same time. I would say between 7 to 10 months. Okay, and then everything just went to waste. Once again, devastated. Uh, I was. I don't know. I don't think I've told you guys this before, but 2020 was the worst. Actually, after 2020 was my worst year in business ever. You guys don't know that. I don't think I've ever said this online. 2020, I lost the most money ever online, guys, and it's because of these trading systems. I went in reluctantly, not doing what I need to do, and I said, you know what, I'm done. I pretty much threw my hands up. I went into a mode of depression. It was bad, guys. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was offline for a long time. I don't know if you guys remember that. I was off dang near about a year. I didn't really post a lot. I was just MIA, and I felt bad not only for myself but for my customers who trusted in me. Um, that's what really hits me. So 23, similar thing happened, same scenario, just devastated, right? So I said after that second time, and mind you guys, during this time, what I'm trying to do, what I was trying to do in this time period was find a reliable investment opportunity because I knew Forex trading was big. I knew it was big because I knew people that were making a lot of money with it. But my audience from ever since I've been online, guys, my audience, I would say over 80% of them have always been looking or wanted something that was passive in the sense that it was hands free. Okay. Ever since I've been online, over 80% of them, a small majority would trade, but most of my audience, they want something hands free. Okay. And that's what I was searching for. That's why I was in the game. That's why I've been in the game for so long. Okay. So after 23, I was really fed up. I was done with the EAs. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to trading and go back to, you know, doing what I know how to do. Okay, and then of course, training people and doing a couple other things on the side, right? Um, so I was 24. 2024 came around, um, and I had the privilege of getting acquainted with this particular opportunity right here that we're talking that I'm going to be talking about here in just a second, guys. I wanted to bring. I knew. Well, let me say this. I knew there was an EA out there that had to be good. I didn't want to lose. During that time I took the time I took off, I didn't want to lose hope. But I knew there was something out there um, that would do it. Okay, so I was introduced to this actually in 2020. I was actually introduced to this particular software that now I've been able to brand the Passive Guru Forex trading software. During that time, I was heavy into another EA, so I wasn't really trying to learn about anything else. Okay, I was gung ho about what I had my hands on and everything else I was doing. Um, at the same time, this was still on the table, and again, this was back in 2020. This was still on the table. And I would say late 24. I say, you know what? Let me go back and look at this because I was given all the details in 2020 about this, guys. And this time, the third time after failing two times, the third time, you got to really dig in deep into your soul and really make very methodical, meticulous decisions. That's where I was in my career. Okay, I had given up all the crypto opportunities, all the other things that I was doing. I gave those up. Because again, my audience, I know what my audience wants, right? So, I was able to really dig into this opportunity, this EA, the history of it, the strategy. I got on several Zoom calls. Uh, I needed to dissect this. I needed to make sure that this was going to be it. And if this wasn't it, I said, you know what, I'm done with EAs. I'm just gonna trade. Okay. And everybody that follows me, we're just gonna have to grind it out and trade. Okay. You're gonna have to learn this skill and actually trade. All right. So I said, you know what? All right. So what really made me run with this, my partner was able to show me his account. Right. And I said, you know, this is mind blowing. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, not only that, uh, he gave me the lowdown of this bot. Didn't give me the recipe, but he gave me just enough for me to say, you know what, this is what I've been looking for, and I know this is what other people have been looking for too. I don't know why it took so long to get to my desk, but here we are, and we're gonna run with this thing. Okay. Here's what I'm not afraid to admit, guys. Here's what I'm not afraid to admit. I'm not afraid to admit that I failed in the past. Let me say that one more time. Okay. I'm not afraid to admit that I did fail in the past. All right. Any successful entrepreneur, as a matter of fact, any successful you can take this all the way to athletes, to any successful person in the world, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you, before they made it, they have failures. Okay, and to have failures, in order to generate failures, you have to take risk It's inevitable. How are you going to know if something works if you don't take any risk? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. But how do you know if does a person know they're going to fail when they take the risk? No, they do not. Do you know if you're going to win? No, you do not. But you got to take the risk to find out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here because I've taken hundreds and hundreds of risks. I've failed several times, but I'm still here. And I was on a mission. I was on a mission to strike gold. And I honestly believe, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking at this, if you're listening to me, I honestly believe that I've struck gold. I honestly believe that I've struck gold with this software. I honestly believe that. Okay. As you can see here, here's one of the the statistics. Okay, been running since 2016. No blown accounts, ladies and gentlemen. Very conservative, right? The track record on this thing is out of this world. It's out of this world. Here's another thing you didn't know. This was a private, well, it still is, but I've been privileged to bring it to the mainstream for years. You're probably wondering, well, where has this been since 2016? Well, it's been underground. It's been a private operation for years, guys. No one knew about this. No one knew about this until it was brought to my desk a few years ago. No one knew. I didn't know about it. Okay, but it's been a private operation with hundreds and thousands of clients around the world, USA, you name it, Japan, name a country. They're using this bot. They're using it, ladies and gentlemen. And not only are they using it, they're 100% satisfied with this thing. You know what? I've had so much experience with EAs, as I've told you, that I can see, because I want to see how it trades, right? The previous bots that I've had in the past, the strategy compared to what I have today is like night and day. So that leads me to go into the statistics of this bot and why it's so good. Okay, let's talk about why this entity is so good. Okay, so number one, this software, it has about between 10 to 12 specific strategies built in. Okay, 10 to 12 different strategies built in. These strategies, what they do is, number one, they keep your account safe. There's the safety features that are built into this bot is phenomenal. Okay, so it keeps your account safe and it keeps it growing at the same time. Let me say it again. It keeps your account safe and growing at the same time. There are safety measures in place. Okay, and then the goal of the bot is to keep your account growing. Now, the bot is able to get this. The bot is able to read high impact news. Okay, it's able to see it, the high impact news that's coming, right? And what it does, this is just one of the strategies. High impact news. Okay. So what it does is if it when it sees high impact news on the horizon, it's going to do one or two things. It's going to do one or two things, and it does a lot more. I'm just going to give you a couple. It's either not going to trade, okay, so it's not going to trade, or it's going to get you in on a quick trade before, and then if not before, it's going to get you right. It's going to get you in after news pass. Okay, so it knows when high impact news is coming, and depending on what the news is, it will place a trade either before or after, but is the trade that it places is very methodical, guys. The strategies that's built into this thing, you might as well say that it trades just like a master trader. Okay, it doesn't just jump into trades. So with that said, it is very, see if I can spell this right, meticulous. I'm not a good speller. Meticulous. I think that's it. It's very meticulous on when it gets in. It gets in at the perfect time that it needs to get in. In other words, it doesn't just open up trades like your traditional martingale and your grid and your hedging and all that other crap, right? It is calculating the perfect trade. As a matter of fact, when it does place a trade, I always tell my clients, I say, hey, just click on the trade, open the chart, and see where it placed the trade. You're going to see that it was a perfect trade, like a real legitimate trade that a real master trader would take, depending on the trend, depending on several different things going on in the market. It places it because of the market conditions, and it's going to place the perfect trade. That's I've never seen that. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Okay. Let's see what else the gats, right? What else does it do? What else does it do? Let's give you some numbers, right? Let's give you some numbers. So the bot is very conservative. Very conservative. It does anywhere from 1 to 9% per month compounded. Okay. So you may see 1% in a month, you may see 3, 5, 7, 9, or more. Okay, and this is depending on market conditions. This is depending on market conditions. Okay. What else? I don't think I'm gonna have enough room to put everything here, guys, but I just want to give you the highlights tonight. Again, feel free to ask your questions. Feel free to ask your questions. What else about the bot? This is the main thing right here, these strategies right here. Oh, low drawdown. When people ask about FX books and all that, what they really want to see is what you really want to see when you talk about FX books. What you really want to see, you want to see low drawdown and you want to see steady growth. Steady growth. That's really it. That's what you want to see. You want to make sure that drawdown is low, and you want to see a steady upward trend in that graph. Because here's the deal. If at one point in the journey of this thing, if at one point, let's say the drawdown got to 50%, that means that that account was almost gone. You had a 50-50 chance to make it out. And many times, ladies and gentlemen, what happens is, and again, this is from past experience, what I told you about, what usually happens with these traditional EAs is high impact news takes it out. Okay? Or what happens is you'll have high impact news, or you'll have a pair that just keeps trending and trending and trending, and that'll take it out too, right? So when you have something like number 5, that's huge. That's huge. Okay. All right. This particular bot only works on the MetaTrader 4. So only works on MetaTrader 4, guys. Okay.
Wifey, FaceTime video.
My wife again. 1 second, guys. I have to call her back. All right, only on MT4. 1 second. Okay, MT4. And lastly, there's more. There's more. 1 second, guys. Let me send this to him. Let me do this real quick. Hold on tight. The last thing I'm talking about is the cost. Here's the cost, okay? All right. So let's talk about the cost, guys. Let's talk about the cost. Get another color here. All right, guys. So with this caliber of a bot that's been operating since 2016, and I encourage you to actually come to the website, click on Auto Traders, and look at some of these videos. You can see a lot of this dates back to last year on these results. You can see the consistency of this bot. Very consistent, guys. This thing is the most consistent software that I've ever seen or ever will see, I believe. Okay, so we're looking at 5,000 for the bot. That's a one-time fee, right? That's lifetime. You get lifetime access to that. That's to be paid in Bitcoin. Okay, that's to be paid in Bitcoin. $5 grand, guys. Okay, now to get started in your broker, because you're going to need a broker. You're going to need an MT4 broker. Okay. I get asked this question, how much do I need in my broker? I would say bare minimum 500. But I would say recommended minimum 1K. Okay. So 500 bare minimum, but recommended 1,000 in your brokerage to get started. Okay. That's what I would do. Now, the strategy here would be once you pay your 5, right? The strategy is to, of course, fund your broker, and I will supply you with that. No worries. Fund your broker, and then build this thing up, treat it like a savings account. Okay. I think I shared this on the last video. I said, hey, your money, if you got your money just sitting in a broker account, I mean, not a broker, but a savings account, it's not doing nothing for you. If you got cash just sitting at home, it's not doing nothing for you. Money was not meant to just sit and collect dust, folks, right? It was meant to perpetuate, to grow. Okay. I posted something on my Facebook today. I'm going to read it to you guys. Listen to this. Listen to this very closely. Very closely. Because investing is nothing more, ladies and gentlemen, than a mindset. So watch this. Listen to this. It said, this is what I put today about 6 hours ago. I said, investing is a mindset that tradition will never teach because of its potential to produce extraordinary results. Think about that. Think about that. We were never taught traditionally in school about investing, guys, but you were taught how to go and work for somebody else, right? The reason that so here's why some people are frowning at this, because tradition has taught you to pay thousands of dollars. Listen to me closely now. Tradition has taught you to pay thousands of dollars to go work for somebody else, but not to invest in yourself. I'm gonna say that one more time, because somebody did not hear me. That should get you a little riled up, right? What I just said. I'm gonna say it again. Tradition has taught you to spend thousands of dollars to go work for somebody else and not to invest in yourself. How do I know that to be true? If you went to college or you got a degree of some sort, you pay quadruple. You pay quadruple more times than 5K to go work for somebody else. You have the opportunity to pay 5K to invest in a vehicle that's going to compound your money. Are you kidding me? That's going to do it in your sleep. That's going to do it while you're at work or whatever you're doing, vacation, walking the dog, on a date, whatever you're doing. Are you kidding me? And it's legit. And it's going to keep my account safe and growing at the same time. Are you kidding me? My college professor didn't teach me that. Or otherwise, I would have took out, because Think about this. An 18-year-old, once they get out of high school, an 18-year-old can go to any college, sign the dotted lines, and get award and get hundreds and thousands of dollars to go to school. But when that same 18-year-old goes to a bank and asks for a loan, they're rejected. I wonder why. I wonder why. Think about it. Okay? The average person spends $5,000, ladies and gentlemen, in these days just living. Your extracurricular activities, I guarantee you didn't spend $5,000. What do I mean by extracurricular? Things that you don't need. Things that you want, but you really don't need. Think about it. Oh, I need these new Jordans. I need these new rims on my car. I need this new purse, right? And those things are not going to give you a return. Now, nothing wrong with nice things. I have nice things. I have nice things, ladies and gentlemen, but along with those nice things, I know that investing is high caliber, right? I put a lot of energy into that thing. All the other stuff I know ain't gonna bring me no return. When your mindset shifts from, okay, do I need this, or what can I put my money in to bring me a return? When your mind starts thinking like that, now things start to open up for you guys. Okay? For real. That's how it works. That's how it works. Okay? Compound interest. Check this out. So here's a little concrete calculator, right? Excuse me. Here's a little concrete calculator, right? And what I want to do, I want to show you the power of this, guys. Again, this is a non-traditional. This is something that people don't look at every day, right? People don't wake up and say, okay, where can I put my money? What's on most people's mind when they go about their day? How much my paycheck gonna be? That's the average person's thought process. How much my paycheck gonna be in the next 2 weeks? Start thinking about investing, ladies and gentlemen. Just think if you would have followed what's one of the financial coaches out there, Dave Ramsey. Just think if you would have followed his advice years ago and start putting back a certain amount of money per month in one of his strategies. Where would you be today? You see what I'm saying? It's not too late to start, though. I'll tell you that right now. Okay? You got to think about your legacy. That's really what you got to think about. What are you leaving behind when you leave this earth? That's how I think. Okay? So let's just real quick, for time's sake. Let's say we start with 5K. We do this for 12 periods. Periods is monthly. They're monthly. So 12 periods is 12 is a year. Okay. So you put in 5K. Let's just say profit per period at the lowest. Remember, I told you the bot does anywhere from 1% to 9% compounded. Keyword compounded. Let's just say we stay at 1 for the whole year, which is highly unlikely. And at the end of the year, ladies and gentlemen, your 5K would be 56.34. Now, here's what these calculators do not take in consideration. Listen very closely. What these Forex compounding calculators do not take in consideration when it comes to Forex trading is something called your lot size. I'm going to say it again. What they do not take into consideration is something called your lot size. So as your account grows, here's another feature of the bot. I can't put it on the chart here, but as your account grows and gets bigger, the bot recognizes that it is going to increase what's called your lot size. I'll spell it out for you. LOT, and then these are two different words. It's going to increase your lot size. So you may start out with 0.01 trading this. As your account grows, you're going to see 0.02, 0.03, okay, and so forth. 0.07 is going to continue to scale up because your account is growing. That's where the magic happens. That's where compounding takes a mind of its own. That's where exponential growth happens. So, truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, after a year with this 5K, if you're not adding to, right? If you're not adding to this as time goes on, you can very well see well over this amount in a year, well over, because of the compounding effect of your lot size getting bigger as your account grows. That's how that works. That's the power. That's another strategy that's automatically built into this bot. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Okay. So to close tonight, ladies and gentlemen, while we're talking about FX book, because a lot of people be like, oh, I want to, FX book. Let me just show you a smaller account, a little small account that was started, okay, not too long ago. And remember what I told you, that on FX books, what you want to see is you want to see low drawdown and you want to see steady gain. Okay. So let's go to drawdown first. Drawdown, not even 5%. Oh my God. This is nothing, guys. Nothing. 3.16% gain and growing. As you can see, we're growing. This is what you want to see on the chart. When it comes to FX books, this is what you got to see. Okay? Is it going up? Is it going up? Is it going up? Yes, yes, it is. It is. It is. It is. Steady, conservative growth to the upward direction with the low drawdown. That's all I look for. And if it's doing that on a consistent basis, you got a winner. You got a winner. You got a winner. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've been on for quite some time. my wife has called me twice, so I know I've been on quite a long time. She called me twice in a session, right? Hopefully I've shifted some of you. For those of you who are like, okay, I don't have 5K. Now here's what I say to you on that. Again, this is all about a mindset, guys. There was a time years ago, early 2000s, I was working in healthcare. I was an orderly. Basically, I took patients from their rooms to their testings and everything like that. I did that for about a year. Okay. And I was making less than $10 an hour. And there was a person development product that I ran into online that I needed. Keyword, I needed it. I didn't want it, I needed it. Because I knew it was going to change my mindset and take me to the next level. That particular at the time, the personal development system product was, I remember to this day, $1,386. Now, mind you, I was making $9, not even $10 an hour. My rent was $600, $700, I think it was like over $600 a month. And I was single at the time, and I was trying to see, okay, how am I going to do this, right? But here's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what the cost of anything is. If you really want it and need it, your subconscious is going to go into overdrive and you're going to find a way to get it. I guarantee you. And guess what happened, ladies and gentlemen? I got that personal development course, and it changed my life from inside out. That's why I'm still here today. Because I saved up enough money to get that $1,300 and some product, pretty much $1,400 off my little hourly wage, Okay, changed my life. So what I'm saying is this: if you want it bad enough, you will get it. If you want it bad enough, you won't make it. You know, the rich minded people never make excuses. Let me just say that. If you're poor minded, you're going to make every excuse in the world to not make it happen. Well, if you're rich minded, you're going to make it happen. I'm just going to leave it at that. I can give you guys some suggestions. Okay, you can always take out a loan, borrow money. If your credit is up to par, you can get a nice little business loan. Okay, there are several ways to make it happen, guys, but you got to want it. You got to see the value in this thing. You got to make it happen. Every single customer that we have on the Passive Income Guru bot are very, very, and I'm going to say it again, very satisfied. No complaints. Everybody's sleeping good at night because their money is safe and growing. Okay? So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this. Let's see if we got any questions. Okay. All right. I see a couple of questions here. Is there a contract between you and those using it? No, there's no contract per se. I think I know what you're talking about. There's no contract. No contract at all. Okay. You keep 100% of the dividends. I think that's what you're asking. With the bot, would you be handling the account? Absolutely. Yep. We handle everything for you, the installation, and we run it for you. So this is a completely hands-free opportunity right here. You do not have to do anything whatsoever. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Before I close tonight. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. All right, folks. If you have any questions after watching this, because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to watch the replay here, feel free to hit me up. You can hit me up on Facebook. You can hit me up. That's probably the best thing to do is hit me up on Facebook, or you can book a time to speak with me personally. With my on my calendar. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I'm going to leave some information below so you guys can get started here. Or if you got questions, feel free to hit me up. Okay. Looking forward to helping you guys invest in this thing. Again, let me just say this. If you're looking for an investment opportunity online that's legit, please stay far away from crypto programs. Even though they may look good, even though you may see people making money with it, take my word for it, you're going to lose. The best thing going online, in my humble opinion, a very highly humble opinion, is my Passive Income Guru Forex trading bot. I'm telling you straight. Okay. So you won't be sorry with this. This is something you can pass, not only start yourself, but you can start to pass on to your family. Something that, I would say it's a breath of fresh air. After all my testing from all these years, it's really I would say it's a dream come true, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm going to leave some information below this video. Make sure you join my WhatsApp group. I have a Telegram group as well. And you can reach out to me on the again on the social media like Facebook to if you got any questions or if you're ready to get started. Okay, you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and talk to you soon. Take care.